I asked my doctor for an omega-3 index 3 years ago and he rejected it. He said there wasn't any evidence for managing omega-3 levels and my health insurance didn't cover it either. Now 3 years later, many more studies have been published on the topic. So what exactly are omega-3 fatty acids? Should you get a test to measure your levels? And is there an optimal result? And if so, how can you achieve it? Well, let's get into it. Dietary fats fall into 4 categories: trans fat, which is banned in the United States; saturated fat, which is villainized in the United States; monounsaturated fat; and polyunsaturated fat, which are generally recommended but depends on the source. Omega-3 fatty acids fall into the 4th category of polyunsaturated fats. Humans can't produce omega-3 on its own, so it must be consumed through dietary sources. I remember in the early 2000s, my dad placed special importance on consuming these polyunsaturated omega-3 fatty acids. He'd have salmon weekly, and he'd take these large yellow fish oil pills. It turned out this resulted from a landmark omega-3 study published in 1999. It found that consuming 1 gram a day of fish oil supplements resulted in a decreased risk of death. This research led many like my dad to make omega-3 the most popular non-vitamin, non-mineral supplement by 2012. But over the past 20 years, research is starting to uncover some more nuance on the topic. ALA is a type of omega-3 that's found in plants and algae, specifically walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, and hemp seeds. Then there's EPA and DHA. ALA can be converted into EPA and DHA, but it's inefficient in humans. Only 10 to 14% of ALA eventually becomes EPA and DHA. If you were to only consume ALAs, then you'd put yourself at risk for being low in EPA and DHA. But these type of fats can be found in fatty fish, such as salmon, herring, and pollock. I don't even know what herring or pollock are. Or you can get that from supplementations. Now, the reason fish have high levels of EPA and DHA is because they consume a ton of algae or algae-eating fish. And algae is high in ALA, and fish are just better converters to move that ALA to EPA and DHA. That's why our omega-3 levels are most impacted by our fish consumption. But does consuming omega-3 fatty acids provide any substantial benefit? Shortly after the landmark 1999 study, other studies like the Omega study have showed no benefit in supplementing with 1 gram a day of EPA and DHA. No decreased risk of death and no decreased risk of heart disease. And further controversy found omega-3 supplements associated with prostate cancer. This questioned the use of supplements altogether, but further reviews and more thorough research has showed that this claim at least tends to be false. Regarding heart disease, it may be that humans need to consume a certain amount of omega-3s to reach a therapeutic threshold. The landmark 1999 study and others like it had populations with high omega-3 levels already from a fish-rich diet. And so this supplement of 1 gram a day of omega-3s may have put them over the therapeutic threshold, so therefore they saw heart health benefit. But opposing studies had populations with already low omega-3 levels, so the supplementation of 1 gram a day didn't appear to be enough for them to reach that therapeutic level. Therefore, they just weren't consuming enough omega-3 to see the benefits. But this is just a theory, and there's been conflicting results regarding heart disease. A bigger effect may be seen in the brain. So 50 to 60% of the brain is made of fat, and 35% of that fat is coming from omega-3s. Omega-3s increase blood flow throughout the brain. This promotes cognition, neural preservation, and protection against neurodegeneration, meaning you'll stay sharper for longer. There's less risk for you to have dementia and Alzheimer's. Omega-3s may also help with depression, loneliness, learning, and memory too. While I think more research is necessary to confirm the effects and the magnitude of the effects, I think managing our omega-3 levels is worthwhile. So how can you get your levels tested, and what's the ideal result? An omega-3 index is a blood test of EPA and DHA levels, and while health insurance companies might not cover the cost of it yet, you can buy one online pretty easily for under $100. Is what my brother and sister did for Christmas. I went to Quest Labs in January to get a bunch of biomarkers tested. Unfortunately, a snowstorm prevented most of my blood tests from reaching the labs, and so I didn't get a lot of the results, but omega-3 index did come back and showed that at 1.1% EPA and 2.8% DHA, providing a total level, the omega-3 index, of 3.9%. Lower than I would have liked. This may be due to not supplementing all of December, because Vicky may or may not have lost my mailbox key, which had all of my latest supplement shipments in them. But now that I'm back on the supplements, I'm hoping to test again soon to get a more accurate result. But an omega-3 index below 4% has been proposed as an indicator of increased health risk. This is also the average American serum level, meaning the average American is low and at risk. This is because Americans eat few fish, and fish is the primary determinant of omega-3 level. levels. But to be in the lowest risk category, studies suggest being above 8%. I am cautious of this number though. First, it's hard to be above 8% without large doses of supplements or binging on fatty fish, neither of which may be beneficial. Second, most of the studies are associations and not cause and effect. Fish consumption may improve the average American's diet and result in a lot of these benefits, but also increase the omega-3 as an associated metric, an associated metric that supplementation may artificially inflate. Third, running these cause and effect randomized controlled trials are just difficult, especially when you're looking to tease out cognitive decline, which may take years to show itself. And so a study has been done over 3 years using omega-3 supplements as an intervention, and they didn't see any positive benefits in it. This could mean the positive effect is only seen after decades of consistent consumption, an effect that may just be hard to prove. So I'm not fully convinced that we all need to aim for 8% because I'm not fully convinced of the benefits. But I don't want to be below 5%. I guess I'm hedging my bets until more studies are published, especially since omega-3 supplements are well tolerated, low risk, and potentially advantageous. Either way, if you want to go for 8% or avoid being below 5% like me, here's how to accomplish it. Fatty fish are the primary source. Current dietary guidelines for Americans recommend consuming 8 ounces of fish a week. That's about 2 servings of fish. Fatty fish like salmon, pollock, and herring would be expected to provide about 250 milligrams of EPA and DHA. However, that amount of fish consumption won't increase your omega-3 levels above the 8%. Therefore, you're going to need to supplement about 1 to 2 grams a day of EPA and DHA. If you're avoiding fish and want to reach that 8% target, then you're going to need a larger 2 to 4 grams per day of EPA and DHA. Why might you avoid fish? Their frequent consumption exposes us to mercury, which is especially harmful. The consumption of pork, eggs, fish, and other seafood accounts for over 90% of toxic PCB consumption too. This is because our ocean waters are so polluted. So while the benefits of 8 ounces of fish a week outweigh these risks, I personally avoid fish. And I'd recommend limiting fish to the 8 ounces a week recommendation, and then just choose low mercury, wild caught, high omega-3 fatty fish. Instead, I opt for 1 serving a day of walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, and hemp seeds. That's 4 servings a day of high ALA plant foods. This helps mediate our inefficient ability to convert ALA to EPA and DHA. And then I take an algae-based omega-3 supplement of 200 milligrams of EPA and 400 milligrams of DHA a day. While I'm only an N of 1 and I need to retest for confirmation, I think this protocol should get me above that 5% goal that I'm targeting. But if more research prevails, then I'm open to reframing my protocol and my goal, because all I want to do is whatever we find to be optimal. So here are my final thoughts. Omega-3 fatty acids are a type of polyunsaturated fat. Humans can't manufacture this, so it must be consumed from dietary sources. And since most Americans don't consume fish, and fish is our primary vehicle for omega-3, most Americans tend to be low in omega-3. This may have detrimental effects on our cardiovascular and cognitive system, potentially increasing our risk for Alzheimer's and dementia as we age. But more studies are needed to confirm this. While some studies recommend being above 8% to be in that lowest risk category, I'm taking a more cautious approach and just looking to not be below 5%. I'm planning to test my levels every few years and then just adjust my goal and supplements based upon any new research that comes out. These are my latest habits for health excellence. If you're interested in more habits for health excellence, feel free to sign up for my weekly newsletter, where I include habits like these, along with the most important things that I've read, watched, and listened to within the past week. I'll also include any future updates on my omega-3 research and supplementation. So stay updated with that using a link down in the description if you're interested in signing up. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.